Hey everybody, it's me, Rebecca, and I am up really early at the airport today, headed to the Cleveland Clinic to hopefully get some answers on my health. But in the meantime, I thought I would use this as an opportunity to talk about Poshmark sales and my theory on it, and what I think are some things that you can do now to help your sales. So, I have noticed a huge downtick in my sales since they started the Posh Ambassador program. And the Posh Ambassador program used to be the suggested user program. And the suggested user program was always kind of this enigma and mystery about how you actually became a suggested user. So in the past, you emailed Poshmark at su@poshmark.com, and you had to basically apply to be a suggested user. And then you waited months and months to get approved, or told you were not selected to be a Posh Ambassador or a suggested user. So there really was no it seemed that there was no rhyme or reason as to how or why people became suggested users. Then they changed everything when I went to PoshFest and started discussing this Posh Ambassador program and algorithms and how things would be changing, and we would be able to find things better, making searchability, easier, and putting our items in front of more people's eyes. Great, right? I mean, that has to be fantastic. So October 1st rolls around, that first kind of week in October, and that's really when I started to see my sales decline when the Posh Ambassador program was rolled out. So originally, over the summer, I had been selling, give or take about 80 to 110 items a month on Poshmark. And right now, and then the last couple months, I've been averaging 40 or 50 items a month, which is a lot lower than I was in the past. I'm also noticing that I have a lot more action in my closet, but not the corresponding sales that should go with all of the amount of sharing and liking that are happening in my closet. So I have discussed this with my husband, who is the data guru, and he thinks that I could be onto something with my hypothesis. So I had just mentioned that the suggested user program previously was an enigma. So people would apply, and then you just went about your Posh business and you shared things that you liked that matched your style and that your followers would see and hope that they shared you back. But I felt like the shares were higher quality than they are right now. And what I mean by that is people are sharing right now. Well, let me back up. Since they have rolled out the Posh Ambassador program, there is now a section on the app that shows you your status in like your status to get Posh Ambassador. So you need like 5,000 shares and you need so many items for sale. There are actual parameters now set into place onto Poshmark for you to attain that status. So if you want to become a Posh Ambassador and you're a new Posher, one of the criteria is that you share 5,000 items. Well, the problem with that is now people know that they can mass blast shares and it elevates them to Posh Ambassador status, where in the past, the quality of the shares were more what people actually liked and what they were interested in, versus now it's just mass blasting likes and following so many new people and people that I think it's now messed with everything, and it's not getting in front of people that it used to get in front of. That's my first issue, is that I don't think that everything has quite settled with this new algorithm. I think that either they're starting over or something is happening. I have noticed a little bit of an uptick in sales as I keep doing different things. I have seen people that are relisting stale listings, and those are actually improving their sales. I have not been sharing as much. I actually started sharing only during parties and my full closet every night. And so far, it's helped a little bit boost it. But what I would encourage you is to make sure you're still sharing, adding new things to the app, to your store on there, even if it's like 3 or 4 or 5 a day. Also, if you don't have new things to add, if you have stuff that you've had listed for a year, maybe it does make sense to delete that and then repost that. Repost that same listing to make it a fresh listing, to make your closet look active. It's the same with the other selling apps. They want to see that people are active and putting listings on their site. And a lot of this goes into the user experience, obviously. So they want people to have a good experience. They want people to be active on the site. But you have to remember that this is a company who is raising money for funding. So in order to get venture capital funding, they want to show, I don't know if you've ever watched Shark Tank or know anything about venture funding, but they want to show how many active users do you have, how many people are signing up and then actually using the app, how many people are buying things on the app, how many people are engaging on the app, how long do people spend on the app. And so all of these parties and sharing and encouragement to list new things, obviously it creates community and it builds that ability for all of us to build our own businesses. But it also helps them show how active and busy and how much people are actually using their app. And so that is crucial for them when it comes to growth and potentially going public in the future. So it's not that, I don't think Poshmark's out to get us. I don't think they ruined the app. I don't believe any of those things. I do, however, believe that the status quo of how it used to be is no longer. And that means we need to get more creative. We need to start trying new things, finding new avenues of sourcing and listing, making sure we're what they call feeding the beast, like they say about eBay. Making sure that we're doing all of those things and trying new things is the only way to figure out what the magic formula is. I have noticed that it seems that most people are buying, searching by their size and what they're looking for and keywords. So making sure that your keywords and your titles are good on Poshmark is really crucial, because it's not the most searchable site. It's not the easiest site to find stuff unless you're looking for a J. Crew size 6 pencil skirt, which that's something you can find easily. I have some in my closet. But making sure people can find your items regardless of the algorithm, regardless of if you're sharing them, and that means detailed descriptions, clear, concise listing titles, and making sure that all of your information is correct in your listings. All of that stuff will help you kind of bump up. If you're still not making sales and you're still not seeing results, reevaluate your photos, reevaluate the styles and the sizes in your closet. It really, really, really depends on the buyer. The other thing to remember, and this is something that I see a lot of comments about, is people, when you're shopping on apps like Poshmark and eBay and you're looking for used clothing, that person is looking for a specific item most of the time, a pair of jeans in their particular size, right? So if you are sometimes you just have to wait for the right buyer. You just have to wait for that person to come along who's a Joe's jeans, booty cut, low rise, size 10 with a 30 inseam. I mean, they're out there. It just takes a minute for either them to find your item or you to find someone who has a shorter inseam and wants to shorten them. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the new Poshmark ambassador program and what's going on with Poshmark and sales. Don't give up. Just don't give up, change it up. That's what I'm going to suggest to you. My advice is don't give up, change it up. Try new things, try new ways of doing things, try new photos, try new descriptions, try new listings, and see what happens. And don't give it 2 days. Give it a couple weeks to see what happens. And I do believe that if these changes are truly affecting Poshmark's bottom line and their numbers and their finances, they're gonna fix it. It might take them a minute, like it did with all the spam, but they'll be able to do it. So just bear with it. It's a great app. It's a great community. And that's my thoughts on it. If you want to learn more about Poshmark, I have lots of videos. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have your own theories or you know something about what's happening on Poshmark right now, please feel free to comment below because I would love to read it. I always love reading your comments. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.